All right, everybody. So really the statement of the day, sellers should not be stepping away right now. And we're going to go over the whys. And we've had this conversation. In fact, that's why we're on a little bit later today. I was having a long conversation with a client who's also a seller as to the pros and the cons of why shouldn't we be selling today, and why should we be selling today. And then, of course, we're going to talk a little bit about mortgage rates and what to expect. We had some great conversations with Juliana and with Dan Golden at Qualstar Credit Union, or Dan's at CrossCountry Mortgage. He made a shift primarily because, well, he had an opportunity to provide better rates, additional programs, and including better investor programs, which is going to help a lot of clients and a lot of people in a lot of ways. So with that, hey, subscribe. Don't be paying attention to like the media reports that came out. They're talking about October numbers. Okay, October is past like over 30 days, and in some cases almost 60 days. So understand, we need to make sure you are up to date. Ring the bell, save this, subscribe, save this as something that you're going to pay attention to and watch, because you get information in real time and it's free. Okay, that's the best part. It's free. And I know I keep saying that every week, but our goal is to help you. The goal is to help you make the best decision for you and your family. All right. So with that being said, let's get on to it. Why do we feel that sellers should not be stepping away right now? Well, let's figure out why. Let's go through this. So first of all, when we take a look at our numbers year over year, we're already down 12.9. Now remember, last week we were actually up, okay? And now we're down. We're down almost 3x. So last week we were at 2.7% on the positive. Right now, we're 12.9 below. That's, I don't know, it's like a couple of thousand homes. And that is something that, well, that's not a couple of thousand homes, but it's something that it is super important, because when we take a look at our 7-day running average, okay, the 7-day running average, what's happening every single week, all right, how this thing is turning. And you guys might remember, hey, we're seeing, 700, 800, 1,000, 1,500 homes every 7 days coming on market, new on market, meaning a seller raised their hand and said, George, I'm coming on market, sell my house. And I'm like, yes. All right. Last 7 days, 363 homes. There you go. But you might say, okay, yeah, so what? Hang on a second. Remember, every week, we're also seeing on the pendant side, we're seeing 1,500, 1,600, 1,800, 2,000 homes going off market every 7 days, right? So we have 363 that came on. We had 1,305 that went off market, okay? And then 1,188 that actually closed. I mean, we have new ownership. That is massive for the sellers that are thinking, oh, it's the holidays. Nobody's going to buy a house. Nobody. You want to bet? Want to bet? I'll bet you guys. Look at this. That is a clear indication we still have a massive pent-up demand. We still are having clients that are out there, and even buyers are saying, well, golly gee willikers, maybe we should slow down for the winter. And I'm like, whoa, 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 time out. Hang on a second. Let me show you something here. All right, here we go. You can see, let me come over to here. We've got, right, November, December, January, first part of February. Notice we take a pretty healthy dip there, right? Both in inventory and buyer activity. Okay, so hang on a second. So if you're a buyer and other buyers are pulling out of the market because of the holidays, whoa, why wouldn't you stay focused? If you're a seller and you're seeing these numbers right here, this is called less competition, still pent up demand. You should be proactively out there. I'm just saying. In fact, we've got a number of homes that are coming on market. And they are going to be, well, they guaranteed they will be going off market. We will probably see multiple offers. Why? There is still a massive pent-up demand. But for buyers, understand, there's a lot less of you out there that are looking. There's still a pent-up demand because we have a massive pent-up demand. Heck, even Redfin statistics that came out by Daryl, I always thought Daryl was a guy, but I guess it's a girl. I didn't know that. But anyway, she and I read her remarks. I don't know if she reads mine, but it's still interesting to read and hear what other people are saying. And they have been mirroring a lot of what I've said in some areas. And one of them is that, yes, we are going to, in 2022, we're going to see a modest increase in inventory, but it's not going to put a dent in the buyer demand that we have right now. And 2022 is still going to be an amazing market, okay? But if you're a seller today and you want quality folks only in your home, let's say that you have, well, maybe you have a safety concern for your family, very valid, real thing, right? Okay. Maybe you have a higher end home. Maybe you just don't want people in your house. Off-market sale might be a good option for you there. But if you're looking for quality instead of quantity, hey, now's the time, because you still have access to buyers, and a lot of them, okay? This means that you get a hyper focus. That means anybody who comes to your house is real. And you need to take a look at that on a serious note, because you're not going to get as many people, which is what you're saying I don't want. And I totally get that, because when I look at buying a home, I buy it now. Now I'm talking to buyers out there. Listen, sellers want to sell. In fact, and pull out this chart. Marie will post this. I think she already did. Yep, she did. All right, so look at this chart. Look at, let's see here, let's go price reduced. And let's take a look at expired. There's 27. And let's take a look at cancel. There's 56. But look at this number, price reduced. There's 113 just in the last 7 days. Sellers want to sell. Sellers are many times more open to alternatives as far as pricing, terms, and things. Why, as a buyer, would you step away when you know that the other competition is stepping away, and yet sellers are more open to conversation? It's not the craziness that is out there. Why not? And I'll tell you, this is the same conversation we are having with all of our clients, both buyers and sellers that are, either on the fence or, muddling around. Hey, now's the time. Why? Because I'm going to go over mortgage rates here in a second, but let's finish this up. And mortgage rates are going to have a huge impact on things. All right. So, new on market, 500 homes across the United States, across the Northwest MLS. We have Pended. Pended are up 7.3% year over year, which is still, again, keeping that momentum. And we're holding at 12.1% more sales year over year. And remember, 2020, again, was a crazy, crazy market. All right. But when we take a look at it month over month is a little bit different, because October historically has always done better than November and December and January. It's always that downhill. It's that downhill slope, right? We see the downhill slope here. All right. It's a given. All right. So over here, again, actives are down 12.9. New on market month over month is up 5.9%. It's only a few homes. It's not very much. Pended is up 12.1% month over month. And then, of course, meaning the same year, just to be sure about that. And then we're down 7.3 on number of solds. Okay, well, last year we stayed home. This year we didn't. We've got a few things that are going on, but still, we are still throwing out some amazing numbers. Okay, our stats are still, when you're selling, this 12.1%, to bring perspective. Okay, so here we had 8 new homes come on market. It was 500 homes, right? This number, however, when we talk about 12.1%, that's 10,000 more closed transactions than in 2020. And 2020 was a record setter for a lot of things, okay? 12.1%, that is huge, that is massive. A lot of that was driven, pent-up buyer demand, limited inventory, and interest rates being so low. All right, now, we said we were going to talk about mortgage rates. And what are mortgage rates trending, right? So you might look at this and say, hey, George, last week it was 3.25%, no points. Now you're telling me it's 3.375. Yeah, so just tinked up a little bit. If you pay 1 point, you get 3.125, and then of course non-owner occupied bumped to 4.125 from 3.875. And I'm telling you it's going to start trending downward. And you might be saying, George, this tells me it's trending upwards. Well, let me tell you something. Remember, the stock market is what you need to be watching for real estate mortgage rates, not the Fed's, real estate mortgage rates, because you need to watch like the 10-year Treasury. The 10-year Treasury follows mortgage rates, 30-year mortgage rates I should say leads the way, follows, leads the way. Yeah. The two go hand in hand, not like a mirror, but very close. So much so that the big industrial investors watch it very closely. Watch your bond rates, watch your mortgage-backed securities. Remember, like the stock market, it goes up and down every day, so do the mortgage rates go up and down every single day, multiple times during the day. The morning and the afternoon might be two different things. Understand that as we see volatility, like we just saw and heard about a wee bit of volatility with a new variant that is out. Okay, well that affects the market, which means that the big industrial investors, okay, your insurance companies, hedge funds, REITs, all of the big mutual funds and whatnot, all of the big investors who watch that are going to start pulling back into safe waters. Safe waters are bonds, okay? And when the bond market really starts doing well and performing well, interest rates drop. So even though this is in the last week or so has been heading and trending upwards, I'm telling you that the mortgage rates are going to stay a little flat and probably head a little in the downward direction. And I really think that that is going to have some benefits, especially as we roll through into and through December. So keep that in mind. You may want to talk to your lender if you haven't locked in. Oh, that was a question that was asked. Eric said, George, when can I lock my rate? You can lock your rate after you have mutual acceptance with a buyer and a seller. Once you have mutual acceptance on a purchase and sale agreement, at that point, then you can lock your rate. You can't say, oh my gosh, rates are great today, I'm going to lock my rate. I need to go find a house. That's not how it happens. You have to be under contract in order to be able to lock your rate. So keep that in mind. And so this is something that if you are under contract and you may want, and you have more than, you're not doing our 11-day close, you have a little bit more time, you may want to monitor that. Talk to your loan officer and see what they have to say. All right? Okay. As we take a look at these numbers and we take a look at seasonal slowdown, are there still massive benefits to buyers and sellers? If you didn't get that in the first part of the video, the answer is yes. Sellers should not be pulling back. Absolutely should not be pulling back. You just need to make sure you're doing it right. Okay, so if you're coming on market for the first time, do not overprice your home. That is, without a doubt, the kiss of death. All right, buyers are just way too freaking smart. So don't fall into that trap. Do not get caught up into that sentimental equity. Like, oh, the market's doing great. George said, good grief. Okay, so listen, there's two different prices, right? There's the value of what we know that a home will sell for, or that we're pretty close to know what a home will sell for, right? Okay. And then there's a list price. And those two prices many times are two different numbers. Psychological price points on a selling side helps people engage with your home, especially if they're right on that edge, because it is perception of value. And as a seller, you need to keep that in mind. For buyers, hey, you know what it is. You can tell when a home is well priced, when it's overpriced, and well, when it's underpriced. Okay, I was out with Michael and Eugene, and we looked at a house, and we walked in. They're like, "Oh yeah, this thing's underpriced by $200,000." Of course, there's going to be a gajillion people here. It totally was true. It was hilarious, and that's a little extreme. But the point is, hey, you know what? They got everything they wanted in a home. Okay, so this is another thing. Okay, here's a little tidbit for the sellers. All right, pay attention. All right, here you go. You ready? No home will sell for less than market value in a limited inventory market. Does not matter if you are $1 on the market, you will achieve, I guarantee you will achieve the same end price point as if you came under a psychological price point, that might be $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 less or whatever that number is to hit that psychological price point, because there's so few homes that buyers know what value is. It's very clear, very simple. All right, get off my soapbox for you guys. Hey, if you have any questions, post them. We're here to answer. We're here to help. There's no strings attached. Make sure that you share the link with your friends if you know that they're looking at buying or selling. Or, hey, if you want to get a second opinion, is what I'm saying real? Go ahead, share it, ask it. I think it's awesome. Give me a challenging question. If you got one, let's hear it. I will help you out. And again, there's no strings attached. So in the meantime, you guys, I hope, had an absolutely fabulous Thanksgiving. I wanted to wish you all the best to you and your family. Christmas and New Year's is literally right around the corner. And I want to wish all of you a very, very Merry Christmas. And if you celebrate a different holiday, that is absolutely fine. It is just our blessings and goodwill to you and for our new year that is upon us. Oh, one other thing. Hey, we're doing our donation to Seattle Children's Hospital. Hopefully going to go down and actually get an updated picture this year for our donation. If you want to participate, let us know. In the meantime, have a fabulous day. It is wet and rainy outside. You take care. In the meantime, stay in the market. Don't go away. All right.